Hi, my name is Ronen Yehoshua, CEO of Morphisec. In this discussion today, I will speak about the challenges of modern dynamic cyber battlefield faces security professionals and suggest innovative way of coping with those challenges. Let's start with the high level. Spending in cyber continues to grow double digits, expecting to reach a spending of total of $170 billion, almost more than twice than we had 5 years ago. This investment should make an impact, resulting in decrease in breaches. But the opposite actually happens. Actually, we see that the damages are actually twice those that we faced in 2015. The cyber battlefield is highly dynamic. The weapons, the attack techniques evolve fast, and the battlefield playground dramatically changes. This requires security professionals to continuously assess the risk and security strategy. But most importantly, it requires them to adopt a new approach, a change from the reactive mindset where defenders are always a step behind adversaries to proactive approach and a more effective to stopping the attacks before damage can happen. There are two main elements that defender needs to address when reassessing their defense strategy. One is the predictability of the targets, meaning the organization, network, devices, assets. And the second one is the fast-changing battlefield, which makes the defense ineffective. Let's first talk about the predictability. Modern advanced attacks heavily relies on the fact that organizational networks and computing assets are static and thus predictable. The predictability is an incredible advantage, as adversaries are able to take their time and plan attacks at their leisure, knowing that whenever and wherever they will attack, the target will be the same and the techniques can be reused. Modern attacks became highly sophisticated and include several tactics and many techniques that fast evolve and change according to the new defenses. A major element in most of those techniques is the use of runtime memory in the operating system or application, exploiting vulnerabilities or gaining privileges in order to do those techniques. Runtime memory is static and predictable, as well as the operating system and application always work the same. The reaction, unfortunately, is reactive defense. Building static defenses such as behavioral rules, IOCs, heuristics, which are all based on knowledge and investigation of known attacks. Ineffective in pre-breach and mostly effective post-breach, after the damage has already been done. The best defense is attack, that we all know, but obviously we cannot do that. But we can try to become more proactive. I will talk about that at the end. Security professionals are proactive by managing, patching, hardening environment by activities such as managing access and permission, application control and on workloads, and so on and so forth. But this is not enough. We need to think out of the box and be much more proactive. A nice way to illustrate that is in the metaphor of a castle, right? You see all the buildings, all the assets, and the defenses around that are static. They never change. You once build them, and they're there. Let's move now to the second element, the battlefield playground and the perimeter. For many years, cybersecurity professionals were still and are used to build an architecture that relies on a perimeter, building a fence of various defenses where anyone or any action that was permitted into that perimeter is legal, like things like firewall, web application, web gateways, email web gateways, etc. And of course, the endpoint as the last line of defense. But then, the adoption of SaaS and public cloud workloads started breaking this concept. Now, COVID came, and the massive shift to work from home and the accelerated adoption of cloud shattered that perimeter completely. Elements which will most probably will stay with us at a certain extent post-COVID time as well. If we go back to that castle, we actually see again the perimeter that we are walking around the castle and all the defenses around that envelopes the castle itself. But what we see now is actually that the battlefield and our warriors are outside of the castle. This requires us to shift from the classic perimeter concept to the new evolving concept and architecture of the zero trust. No one is trusted anymore until it was specifically and individually identified and approved. This is opposed to the current perimeter concept that assumed anyone is trusted if it was allowed to enter the perimeter. And now we do not have that anymore. Zero trust architecture is not new and already began to spread, mostly by implementing controls such as network segmentation and access management. But the massive shift to work from home and cloud required us to expand the architecture of zero trust even further into the execution level, applying zero trust on application runtime. So how can we extend our defense to proactively and effectively reduce the exposure applied by predictability of our network and the disappearance of the perimeter as we knew it? The answer to that is a game-changing concept and a technology called moving target defense. Moving target defense is the concept of changing systems in multiple dimensions in order to decrease the target system predictability, increase complexity and cost of attackers to limit the exposure of vulnerabilities and opportunities for attack. An innovative approach of implementing moving target defense is by morphing and randomizing the memory structures in a continuous way. By that, we gain an effective answer to the two elements we discussed. First, we eliminate the predictability and the usage of vital resources needed by the advanced attacks. And second, extending the zero trust model to runtime. Why? The moving target defense implemented on memory runtime actually creates two distinguished zones. Morphed memory, which is regarded as a trusted runtime zone, and the original memory structure, which is regarded as untrusted zone. Morphisec does exactly that. A cloud-delivered, unified threat prevention platform that protects enterprises against advanced attacks, extending zero trust to runtime and eliminate network predictability by moving target defense. The platform covers the organization with endpoint protection, also highly tuned for VDI infrastructure, and several workloads, both Windows and Linux. In addition to powerful protection, Morphisec platform delivers the most attractive total cost of ownership in the market, designed to provide quick installation with immediate time to value and simplicity of operations, empowering existing security staff. Meet with one of our representatives to learn how Morphisec can help build your defense to cope with dynamic modern cyber battlefield. Thank you very much.